In imprisonment, claiming his innocence. Currently, I'm the greatest rapper in a sense. But any currency, I'm still guaranteed my wins. This is coming from within. I stuff for real, I don't pretend. When the OG spilling knowledge, bet it's best you soak it in. I'm a prophet to them scholars, got them chakras opening. Got them fixing up they octaves, now they truly focused in. I'm seeing 2020 visions. Daily manifesting on my premonitions. Best to keep it neutral, got my own religion. The brainwash, gotta make your own decision. My word is James Bond, I stay on the mission. Coming for the top position, ain't no competition, man. Pull up in the top is missing, the opposition in. All that lane switching, this is what the game is in. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know. It's the young, incredible, honestly unforgettable. You a joke like Chappelle show. This so perennial, do this for my millennials. I be murdering any flow. I just had to let you know.
This Lion fan base, Coach, they have been craving home playoff football since this building opened in 2002, and they've got it today at Ford Field in Detroit. Tonight, it's the NFC's turn to take center stage as we've got a wild card matchup on tap between the Dallas Cowboys and the Detroit Lions. Win or go home is the mantra, and off we go. We're underway in this NFC wild card game. This is taken about 7 yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now the first carry for Ezekiel Elliott. Only a couple for him there on the game's first play, and it's second down.
Well, we saw him there trying to get it to the outside, trying to get to the perimeter, but not a whole lot of room there. But there's got to be one positive to that. If you keep moving laterally, creases tend to develop as the game moves on, and they can run it back inside later.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Dalton. And his throw is going to be incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. And that takes us from 2nd to 3rd down. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
An early tough test on the opening drive. This is 3rd and 8. Dalton sets up play action. And that's knocked away and incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on third down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on third down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And no return possible here as they angle this one out of bounds.
Here we go. 15 running.
Stepping up, he's going to keep it. Give him 10 yards on the keeper, and it'll lead to a second down.
Now that's the way you want to start a drive. Talk about a tone setter as well as a playbook opener. Now if you want to take a big shot over the top, you're all positioned to do so.
On second and inches, Jackson. It's brought in by Harris. And he'll have it past midfield almost to the 40 before being taken down. That one a gain of 20 and a first down. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. Solid running on the carry, but still brought down just inside the 40. Tackle made there by Chidobe Awuzie.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
On second down, it's Johnson. And he'll get 4 here down to the 35-yard line.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Yeah, the Cowboys here on third down bringing in an extra defensive back.
Undercrunch.
They'll try and run for it. Here's Johnson. And he will be very close to a first down, but I see the closed fist of the referee, and that means fourth down. The ball's still a few inches shy of the marker after the 3-yard run, so now a little soul-searching on fourth down.
54, Mike. Come on, D! Mike spot 4. Let go.
They'll try and throw for it to Jackson. Catch is made by Hockenson, the tight end. But he will not get away. He stopped short of the marker. The Lions turned away on fourth down. And the Cowboys' defense is going to get them the football back. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And the last drive, the first drive for them, not very good. 3 and out. What do they go to here?
Well, you don't look down at your play sheet and say, this is what the problem is. Yeah, let's find out who my playmakers are. Get the ball in their hands, and maybe the offense will move a little bit better.
Sometimes it's more important to get it to the right people rather than dialing up the right number.
Exactly.
Or the right play, yeah.
That, too.
Hey, go, 368. Hey, 2. Hey, defense,
They keep on the ground with Elliott. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up second.
Brandon, that play certainly felt like what I call a tendency breaker. 1st and 10, they dial up a draw play. That's not a normal situation, but give credit to the defense. They weren't fooled at all and really finished off the play.
And he'll get this one down near the 20-yard line, just shy of the 20. A gain there of 30 big ones. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. From the pistol, here's Elliott. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. He'll get a nice chunk there on the first down run, and it's 2nd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing, often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
From the 16, Dalton. A dump off to Elliott. And he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. It'll be a 2-yard gain, and all of a sudden here it's third down.
Hands up, lead.
I'm scared.
Regular. Let's go. Hey, box truck.
I'm here all day.
Mike 40.
65.
They run it for the first time with Tony Pollard. And he won't be close to a first down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain there on the play, and that's going to leave him with a fourth down.
It's now fourth down.
Marr able to put this one through. And the Cowboys are going to jump out to a 3-0 lead. So the drive stalls out inside the 15-yard line, but they do get 3.
And I've talked with enough players nowadays that when they have these types of kicks, that no one says to their guy, hey, that's just like making an extra point, piece of cake. Because the extra point is not a piece of cake anymore. But kicking a field goal from that distance, just give him confidence and let him knock it through.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They've been a come-from-behind team all year. They'll need to do it again as they trail early in this wild card game. On 1st and 10, it's Jackson. The connection here with Nelson Agholor. That good for 21 yards on the catch and run.
And let's face it, that what we just saw there, not a surprise, is it? I mean, this is what he does well. And if you don't tackle him as soon as he catches the ball, this is the end result. Big yardage after it.
Got the speed, the agility, so good with run after catch. And we're only in the first quarter, so they better get a wrangle and a hold on that quickly.
Yeah, you're exactly right. And what's really difficult to try and defend him is if you want to press him so that you get him on the ground quickly after the catch, a lot of times he'll just run past you at the initial point of contact, and he'll go deep.
The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8.
Check 43.
They'll run it with Johnson. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45.
The tackle made by Jalen Smith. A 2-yard pickup brings up 3rd and 6.
Now this will probably be the last play of the quarter.
Coming, baby. I'm coming, baby.
3-0 after 1 on EA Sports. On 3rd down, Jackson. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. You can tell they were hoping for a flag there offensively. Several on the sideline motioning, hey, why not a penalty? Why not a penalty? What did you see?
Yeah, I think you've got to let them play, and the officials are instructed. If there's contact coming from both sides, no flag. Let them fight it out.
And forces 4th down. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game, but this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football, because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing.
And he goes down. Dalton couldn't get rid of it, and that will be a safety. Well, I think you can go ahead and give your punter an assist on that one. Pinned him deep, and the defense comes through with 2 points.
You're exactly right, partner. This was all set up by a great punt, and if the ball goes in the end zone, this never happens. So great call. Give the punt team and the punter some love.
The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win 2nd down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
So 1 play, and they're already just shy of midfield. Here's Jackson. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And that is incomplete. Showed off the arm strength there, but to no avail. Second down. Those passes out that far wide always make you hold your breath a little bit. Felt like it was in the air for a while.
What it does is it allows a defender to gain some ground, come from a long distance, and have a chance to affect the pass.
Again on 2nd and 10, it's Jackson. That'll be taken in there by Kenny Golladay. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 40. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. And he still has yet to get on track in this first half as they're going to stop him behind the line.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
Here we go. 54, T-line, 54. Yo.
On 2nd and 12, Jackson. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. DeMarcus Lawrence just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. And now they're looking for 19 yards here on 3rd down following 2 negative plays.
Right there, 54, right there, 54, Mike. Let's go, D. Big series right here. We got to step it up. Mike 5-4.
From midfield now, here's Jackson. Looking for Aguilar, and it's intercepted. Picked off, Byron Jones.
Well, it's 3rd and long, and you've got a few different ways to play it offensively. But this is not the type of offense that's going to wave the white flag. They're going to keep chucking it. And this time, it results in an interception.
Their D gets the INT. Now what can Dalton do? Rush coming, and he's taken down.
How about that? One of the so-called little guys putting the pressure on. That was the strong safety. When I was in college, we often called that a lightning blitz.
And they need to work to at least get some of this yardage back after the sack. 2nd and 19. And Dalton to throw. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked by Tracy Walker. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line.
The good old cover 3 defense, partner. When you start playing football as a safety, that's the first thing you're taught. Middle of the field, be as deep as the deepest receiver in any zone, and break on the football when it's thrown, and pick it off, just as we saw there.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete.
Even without a ton of pressure in his face, it just shows how difficult it is to pick apart his own defense. Those guys are sitting back, and they're not playing receivers as much as they're playing the eyes of the quarterback and when he delivers the ball.
So now they'll come up on 2nd and 10, once again from the 28. Play action. Now Jackson. And that going to be incomplete. A lot of contact, no call, and it's 3rd down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's the one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
The Lions on 3rd down, 0 for 3 to this point. They could use a conversion. This is 3rd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. And this play going to be stopped in its tracks at the 32, and obviously well short of the first down. 5 yards that time out of the scramble, but now they're looking at a 4th down situation. And here now the punter, Martin, booming this one away. Taken in at the 11. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Cowboys will take over the football with a 1st and 10. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. He's going to float this one deep right side. And that's caught inside the 30. A big play here for Dallas. 51 yards. The last drive he threw the pick, but He's not shy. He's going downfield again there.
And you can't be, because if you back off after throwing an interception, your whole game plan just goes right out the window, and it makes things easier for a defense. And you and I both know there isn't a quarterback in this league that's any good that doesn't throw an interception occasionally, and they usually bounce back in a big way. I've seen guys throw 5 and still find a way to win the game in the end.
On second down, Elliott. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. Sets him up nicely. First and goal. It was a pickup of 14.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They'll pick up another first down with that run.
And they'll get this from the 8 to the 5. Pickup of 3. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. On second down now, it's Elliott. And he will take it in for a Cowboy score. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. And there you go. Nothing really too complex. Block, keep to your assignments, let them run it in. They did it.
Fundamental football. Good blocking, beats good tackling on that play. End result, touchdown.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
Right there.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe you try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
To throw on second and 10. Jackson. Open man. He's got him. The tight end, Hockenson. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down.
And there's a completion to the tight end. And look at the size of these players nowadays. At that spot, 6'4", 6'5", and up. A lot of guys used to be basketball players, somehow came back to football. That's really good for the game of football. You're getting better athleticism, great hand-eye coordination, guys who know how to control their bodies when they run their routes.
A run there on first down and a pretty good one of 5 yards, so make it 2nd and 5. They go play action with Jackson. He'll buy some time right. He's going to take off with it. And he's going to have another first down here as the tackle's made at the Cowboys' 21. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the first half. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Chidobe Awuzie with a pick. And he'll go down inside the 15 at his own 13-yard line. That's sort of a second quarter to forget for him. Now 2 picks in this frame.
Almost as if the first one that he threw, he couldn't shake, couldn't get it out of his head. He ends up throwing a second one as a result.
Compounds the mistake a little bit.
Yeah, you got to be able to forget, compartmentalize, whatever you want to call it, and move on. He hasn't been able to do so here in the second.
So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. From the shotgun, a give to Elliott. And he'll push forward here for a good little run as the clock continues to run. And now they'll take a timeout defensively. After the second down play, they burn the timeout, making him sweat out the final few ticks here in the second quarter. For the Lions, an extra DB in the game now here on third down. Out of the gun, it's Dalton. And that's Elliott, complete. Now the Cowboys going to burn the first of their timeouts. That'll leave them with 2 remaining. We'll be back after this. So we come upon halftime here in this NFC wildcard matchup as we send you down to Orlando where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. One of these two teams about to play their final half of the season as we're back at it in this NFC wildcard bout. That's fielded in the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. The Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. They're down here, but very much in this game. What's the tonality of a coach's talk when a game is within striking distance like this at intermission?
Typically, what they're doing is emphasizing the things that went well in the first half and wanting more of that. Sure, you've got to go over some of the errors and clean up some things because there's a reason you're down. But overall, I think they want to stay positive, stay up with this team. We're just starting the second half, and we've got the football. Let's go ahead and punch it in, and then we'll take it from there.
See how that recipe works. They'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down.
Well, that's what you're looking for when you want to throw the ball downfield. You want one of those guys who can play out on the perimeter, can play out wide, who can not only get open, but when they're covered, can uncover themselves downfield and create catches.
The first down carry here for Johnson. And they're able to swarm him behind the line, and his rough night continues. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
Running lanes were at a premium in the first half, but he's able to find some room there, and he's hoping that that's a precursor of a big second half.
Check 26, check 26. Check, neutral, quickly. Ball.
On 2nd down and 4, Jackson, and that'll be incomplete. Good protection that time, and they couldn't hook up on the long one. Now it's 3rd down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Off the play fake, here's Jackson. Able to find Harris, complete. And he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down.
We don't talk about it very often, but sometimes there's a dip in intensity when you start the second half, which can manifest itself in some sloppy tackling. And how about right there? He ran right through that weak tackle attempt.
They stay on the ground on first with Johnson. And after the good gain last play, this time they say, as he's going to be stopped behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. To throw is Jackson. Going underneath. He's brought down at the 24 after a gain of 4. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication. And as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
Let's go. Hey, check Mike 57. Mike 57.
Now Jackson on 3rd down. Aguilar has it. It's a gain of 10 for the Lions and a first down. I don't know what they talked about at halftime. Whatever it was, it worked. They look like a different team here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, I doubt that there were very many trash cans that got kicked over, that type of a speech. I think what they did was they analyzed what worked in the first half, what didn't, and figured out a better game plan.
And he takes this one in for a Lions touchdown. Taking it in from 14 yards out as his guys have cut the lead down to 2. and they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out.
And they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line.
They made the decision to go for 2. They didn't get it. They remained down by 2 points. Should they have kicked it there?
A third quarter, I'm okay with it. Maybe first or second, you don't? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, again, I keep coming back to I don't like to chase a lot of points.
Yeah.
But I also don't know what kicking an extra point being down 1 does for me.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. They were able to get the ball back here, didn't surrender any points. Now they'll look to add to that lead.
How about the boost the defense gave them? Going right out on the field, shutting them down, not giving up any points, and turning the ball back over. They want to do their part now and show them a little respect and some gratitude by scoring some points.
And to get a little more cushion. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Now Dalton. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
One of the advantages of zone defense, as I remember it, is being able to see the play develop in front of you. One of the disadvantages, when they find those levels where they can hit you with it. Sometimes behind the corner and in front of the safety, it makes it tough to defend.
Elliott on first down, going to get this back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. Officially no gain on the play, and it's 2nd down. And as a defensive end, getting off the ball quickly, swarming to the football, making a tackle, that's what we saw right there.
Yeah, that's what their job is, and really a lot of the time they have to throttle back a little bit in the run game because you know those defensive ends, they're like in a sprinter stance. They're just headed straight for the quarterback. That was good recognition on that play to hold them to no gain.
From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10.
Come on.
Elliott. And just no chance of turning the corner. He can only get back to the line of scrimmage. 2nd and 10 coming up. Nice job there defensively to clamp down because really they've been on their heels this drive.
Agreed, and they really needed that one for confidence, just to feel a little bit better. But I don't know if I would be daunted by them stopping me on one run. This drive has gone pretty well. I could come right back at them.
And he's taken down, but not before reaching the 10-yard line. That one goes for 24 yards. Great mix of play calling so far. 3 runs, 3 passes. All 3 passes have been completions. 1st and goal.
I think on defense now, you have to almost take a chance. Rely on your scouting. Pick a play you think they would run here and just load up for it and see what happens.
Pressure gets him back at the 14. The man they call Snacks, Damon Harrison, able to drop him for a loss of 4 from his defensive tackle spot. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. On 2nd down, it's Elliott, and he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this 3rd quarter. 1 quarter remains in this NFC wild card matchup. Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
And that'll do it for the end of the 2nd quarter. This is the NFL. And the Lions pressure too strong. Down he goes. Damon Harrison able to drop him that time for his 2nd sack of the evening.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So they get the 3, but you wonder now, is that going to be enough?
Excellent question, because when I look at the smiles on that side of the field, they're a little tight, aren't they? If they had scored a touchdown there, those would be big half-moon grins right now because they'd feel a whole lot better about their position.
And a touchdown in the other direction, all of a sudden they're down. The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. They begin the drive with Johnson. He'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 23. Now 2nd and 7 from the 23. Jackson. And he slings one that's incomplete. The intended target, T.J. Hockenson. And that'll make it third down.
I think you put just a little bit too much heat on that one. When you throw it to the outside, you do have to be careful because you got to keep it away from the defender. But you also have to give your own guy a chance, too.
The Lions on third down. They've converted just 2 for 6 thus far. This is 3rd and 7. Now it's Jackson. He gets it complete to Harris. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. He'll get 17 that time, and the Lions have a first down. This quarterback now, a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10. From the gun, Jackson. That's complete to his running back, Connor. No gain on the play there. It'll be 2nd down.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Jackson will throw again. Eluding the pressure right. He's going to take off with it. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down.
He was tackled at the 46-yard line. It's a gain of 5. Brings up 3rd and 5.
The Lions on 3rd down. 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and 5. Here's Johnson. And they'll get him down about 3 yards short of the first. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down.
A 2-yard gain. It's 4th down.
Big hit. Mike's 51.
They're going on 4th down. It's Jackson. He's got his man, T.J. Hockenson. And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. First down, Lions on a pickup of 13. Felt compelled to go for it there on 4th down, trailing in the 4th quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a 4th down call. It doesn't matter the distance. You stop to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
Here's a quick hitch route, and the throw complete. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. You're tackling them almost on the spot. That means you have to run extra plays, harder to move it.
And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
Brings up 3rd down and 9.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
54 is Mike. 54 is Mike. Check, check. Watch 54. Watch 54.
Watch the out. Watch the out.
Mike's 54. Mike's 54.
From the gun, it's Jackson. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
You hear the calls for a penalty, but I just don't think so. I think in this situation, the defender was making sure his guy couldn't hold on to the football. So I don't see anything that warranted a flag.
No, I'm with you. There was contact, but I'm happy they kept that flag in the back pocket. So with that field goal, this one's now back within a field goal. Maybe not the ultimate result they wanted, but gets them that much closer.
This game is unfolding like a really good book, isn't it? Because I feel like there's a few more plot twists yet to be revealed before this one is over.
And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. I guess the good news as they start this drive is that they still do have the lead, Charles. If their defense hadn't been able to hold them. Ezekiel Elliott going to take it the distance. He's at the 30. Touchdown, Cowboys. Ezekiel Elliott, 79 yards. And the Cowboys, they push out in front further. They talked about stringing together some explosive plays here in the playoffs. That was a pretty explosive play.
It certainly was, and if you're going to win on the road, it certainly helps to have big playability in your hip pocket, doesn't it?
Lions offense ready to kick off their next drive. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they've got to make sure they love him up because he's up.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. DeMarcus Lawrence, his second sack of the night.
Brought down back at the 29-yard line.
2 minutes left to play in this football game here on EA Sports. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. To try again after the sack, Jackson. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Anthony Brown.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10. They'll run with Elliott. And I think this defense knew what was coming as he is smothered behind the line. The Lions will use the first of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. Dalton wants to throw. He's going to let this go for the end zone. And that'll wind up incomplete. Bold play call there. Now it's 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
So they settle for just the 3, but clearly right now anything helps trying to salt this one away in the 4th.
Without a doubt, obviously a touchdown probably would have been the final nail to finish this thing off, but they still ate up time, got points. So while it's not mission accomplished, it's darn close.
The Detroit offense ready to begin their drive. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off at the 39. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line.
Partner, we always talk about possessions being at a premium in these games, and now in this situation, throwing an interception here when you have to claw your way back in, that one's going to hurt, and in a big way.
About set for this next drive by the Cowboys offense. And barring mistakes, they should be able to kneel this one out and finish it off. And there's only 1 timeout remaining on the defensive side of the ball, so that doesn't really come into play either. And they'll indeed take a knee. So time to start going in the other direction as they come up now 3rd and long. Clock counting down toward 40 seconds as they take the knee.
And there it is, that symbol that ends a game that one team loves and the other team can't stand. Taking a knee. And guess what? The visitors came in and got it done. Wild card round. First step on their way trying to get to the Super Bowl.
First step indeed. They're underdogs. We'll see if they can continue to make some noise in the playoffs, but a good first step. And now a high kick here as they'll try to cover this one. Their season ends here. A tough way to go out.
And the goal was to not just get to the wild card game, which they did, but to win it. And so now, how negative do you look at that? They got there, had an opportunity, and for some teams, They have to lose games like this before they learn how to win them in later seasons.
So that'll just about do it for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. For more, log on to easports.com. With that, we say good night from Detroit.